What's poppin'? My friends, my family. The ball worshipping pedophile scum finally got the holy war that they wanted. I feel sick, man. And I've been up since 6 a.m. following this story, so I'm like, fuck it. I might as well go live and break it down with my family on on the RBN, on X, on YouTube right now. So I appreciate you guys for watching. I got a lot of thoughts. They murdered 50 children in Iran right now. You know, remember all the Western feminists that like we need to liberate the women of Iran. You guys just murdered 50 little girls, school children. They just engaged in a massive. This is the way they started this war because they couldn't allow this to go unanswered. This is a great tweet by Russians with attitude. Yeah, I haven't been able to sleep either. I'm gonna read a lot of comments, see how you guys feeling because there's a lot to cover today. Obviously, breaking Israel started the war with Iran. I saw that the UK is now getting in. The Houthis are activated. U.S. bases are getting hammered right now as we speak. This is one of those days that's going to go down in history, fam. And if you're not paying attention, you're missing history. That's why I had to go live because I was going to follow this all day anyway. So I might as well give my live takes and we can cover and find some new breaking headlines together. Yeah, the Straits of Hormuz is going to be blockaded. And we know that because Russia and China and Iran was planning this. They were doing military drills so they can coordinate the blockade of the Straits of Hormuz. You have China and Russia sending military equipment and arming Iran. And I have a tweet. And you guys know I usually avoid putting my opinions out there what Russia and China should do. But this is game time, Putin. I'm sorry, this is game time. This is game time, G. You guys cannot allow Iran to fall. And this is why I'm sick because I'm not trying to put it on Russia and China. I'm saying that for their good and the good of humanity because we failed in the United States. I'm sick. I'm sick watching this. My entire life. Like, if these boomer fucks don't know why we're so anti-government, why we cheering for the United States troops to get their head blown off because they deserve it. Like, we tired. Every year of my life, we was at war. My formative years as a teenager was watching the Iraq War. Now we have another one. My entire life, I tried to build this anti-war movement, and we failed in the West. I really wish the left would get humbled. I'm humbled through my failures. But the professional managerial class left, they sold us out. The left that was obsessed with duopoly, tranquilizing drug known as electoral politics and supporting demons and monsters who wish the death on our Persian brothers and sisters. Shame on them. Fuck Dave Smith, fuck Ian Carroll, fuck Joe Rogan, fuck everyone who legitimized the MAGA cult, who played a part in enabling the Epstein regime. It's time for accountability. I don't want to hear shit about the poverty draft. I don't want to hear none of that shit. You signed up and you wanted to be an Epstein foot soldier. And so if they get smoked because U.S. bases are being hammered right now, they 100% deserve it. This is what you guys signed up for. No one forced you to do that. There's no draft anymore. But well, don't you know there's a poverty draft? Fuck you. Everyone else is engaging in class war. I'm engaging in class war because I want my brothers and sisters to have health care. I want our neighbors, I want our entire country to thrive. Meanwhile, these military Epstein foot soldiers, they want sympathy from us because they skipped class war because they want a pat on the head by Donald Trump in the Epstein class. They want the Presidential Medal of Honor. And now U.S. bases are getting fucked up and they deserve it. This is one clip that going viral. I need to of one of the bases being hit in Beirut. I don't know if I should show these because YouTube is very strict on this kind of stuff. Um, Fuck it. Look at this. I'm gonna show this video. Let's just say we're showing this video.
Bro.
Oh, let me put this down.
Oh shit! Oh fuck! Oh shit! Bro.
So what's the data?
Oh shit! Oh fuck! Oh shit!
I hope all you motherfuckers get smoked. I'm gonna be honest. U.S. bases getting smopped up. So the Iran and their brave fighters, they exposed the United States and Israel once again as people who are bullies. What did it say that Donald Trump, during his address, was like, we expect there to be American casualties? Have you guys seen this? I may find a speech. I didn't bother digging it up because I would listen to it. It was disgusting. Without congressional approval. Donald Trump is a criminal. He's a criminal waging war without congressional approval. And they say, we got to expect Americans to die in this war. Because what did I tell you guys? They're running low on munitions, and Iran have the ability to fuck the United States bases up. And I hope they do. Because Iran is in an existential battle against Baal worshippers. And then you have people in the corporate media, they're quoting fucking Jewish scripture. Because these demons finally got the holy war that they always wanted. CNN put out an article 33 minutes ago saying that this attack is for Amalek and to fulfill the mitzvah of remembering Amalek. This is from CNN. So you got liberal Zionist Jews quoting Jewish scripture in order to sell their holy war to the American people that does not benefit the American people at all and only accomplishes one thing, the plan to achieve the Greater Israel Project. CNN going full Talmudist here. This is insanity. Timing of U.S.-Israeli attack on Iran bears symbolic meaning in Judaism. Then these same motherfuckers, oh my God, why there's a rise of anti-Semitism? Fuck you. Look at these Baal worshipping scum engaging in their ritual sacrifice here. This is their war dance. They're celebrating. Look at these fucking tunnel rats. Look at these demon worshipping tunnel rats. Happy with massive humanitarian suffering. Imagine having a state for 80 years, everyone in the world hates you. You bombing 6 of your neighbors, start another war with Iran, and then you have MSNBC and Morning Joe do a segment like, well, this war is necessary because Iran is the #1 state sponsor of terrorism. These are the biggest terrorists in modern human history. Yeah, you got more dancing Israelis now than on 9/11. Like, this is just like 9/11 all over again, these fucking tunnel rats. Yeah, I probably do need you. And you want to know what they cheering? I was explaining how they bombed and killed 50 children, over 50 children. Here's the receipt now. You guys got to forgive me if I'm slightly more disorganized than usual just throwing this show together. But you want to know what the Israelis are celebrating? They're the Baal worshipping tunnel rats. They are celebrating this. They're celebrating the murder of children. You guys notice how they always go after the children? And even corporate media has been forced to acknowledge this. I've been watching these people like Hawk this morning, and it was like, yeah, the number is still rising. So at the time of this tweet, well, it was 40. Before my live stream, it was like 55. Now, Prefer Morandi says it's probably over 100. And then they say this is an accident. Fam, I don't have to sell it to you guys. I think you guys know. I was selling it on Twitter. The idea that this was an accident is absurd. They was planning these strikes they was explaining how they were planning these strikes for months. We understand the intense coordination that comes with that goes into these airstrikes and military planning. And people want us to believe that Israel and the United States always accidentally bombs hospitals. Oops. What? They never accidentally bomb like an empty space of land. It always accidentally falls on the children. And they want us to believe that? No, fam. This is psychological warfare. Well, it's obviously hot, bloody warfare, but it also serves as psychological warfare against the Iranian people to send them a message that international law is dead. You see what we did in Gaza? We will do that to you if we are able. And this is what the tweet I put out there. Like almost every single tweet today is putting up numbers. Like, because this is just, someone has to say it. Someone has to acknowledge this point. And this is what I tweeted out. The strike on the school that murdered over 50 Iranian children was not an accident, but psychological war as the West sends a message to Iran that international law is dead and they plan on murdering as many Iranians as possible and turn the state into Gaza if they can. This is what the Iranian diaspora is cheering for. This is what Reza Pahlavi, the fake-ass Zionist crown prince, is cheering for. And there's all these videos of the Iranian diaspora traitors dancing and celebrating as schoolgirls in Iran was butchered by the West. How disgusting is that? That's unbelievable. There's let's see if I can get this back up. I see, yeah, here's another, like there's so much breaking. This is why the Pentagon was warning Trump about starting this war. The Straits of Hormuz has already been shut down. The average ordinary European, the average ordinary American, just like the entire global working class, is going to suffer in order to serve the will and the interest of the Epstein regime. That's why this is sick. Look at these dancing fucking rats. Like, this is the joke that's going around. They're dancing the same way they danced when the second tower fell. I have to show you guys the face of evil because these are enemies. These are enemies for life. What a sick culture and sick people, man. And then these Jewish supremacists launched a war, and then they was like, pray for the Jews. Pray for the Jews. Like, nigga, you the one who started bombing another country. And you talking about pray for the Jews? Are you serious? I don't even want to show this, but this is... Here's Kier Starmer. Because I saw a tweet earlier. I was trying to confirm it about how the UK... Actually, let's just listen to his statement. This is Kier Starmer and his response.
Earlier this morning, the United States and Israel struck targets in Iran. Iran has since launched indiscriminate strikes across the region.
Indiscriminate. You guys murdered, apparently to one source, hundreds of school children. And Iran is retaliating by targeting United States military bases. You guys see the difference? The same with Hamas, the same with Hezbollah. They attack military installations while the Epstein class, like Kier Starmer and his Epstein friends, they target children and they engage in terrorist attacks. And now they're accusing Iran of being indiscriminate. Do people realize that everything that is told to you by our government is a lie? But let's continue this.
And communities across our country will be deeply concerned about what this means for security and stability, and for the fate of innocent people across the region, which for so many of us includes friends and family members. So whilst the situation is evolving very quickly, I want to set out our response. The United Kingdom played no role in these strikes, but we have long been clear. The regime in Iran is utterly abhorrent. They have murdered thousands of their own people, brutally crushed dissent.
We can't stand Iran. They're so evil because they murder their own people. So our response is to murder more of their children. For one, no one believes these numbers that you guys keep making up about the amount of people that Iran murdered. You had the Mossad launch terrorist attacks in their country. What would happen to the United States if we ally with hostile forces, let's say from Russia? Let's say Russia invaded the United States, China invaded the United States, and had sleeper cells that activated and murdered hundreds of police officers. And then we joined them. Imagine if we had our militia join the hostile foreign forces. We started lighting churches on fire. We started executing police officers and beheading them. Nigga, we will all get sent to Guantanamo Bay. We will be tortured to death. Can you imagine what they would do to us? But these are the lies our Epstein-controlled class, they have to tell because they have no intellectual or moral argument to justify their batshit insane geopolitics in their worldview. And you notice how Kier Starmer was like, hey man, we got to make sure we all worry about the family we have in our region. What family do you think he's talking about? He's talking about the fact that he had family in Israel. So the UK been violating international law and putting a target on your back in the UK because he wants to defend his genocidal apartheid family. I need to read some more comments. I'm sorry, guys. All of this to protect their child trafficking network is the most disgusting thing in history. I'm sick. How are people not sick and furious at this? This is why I'm sick and I'm furious at the people who sign up to serve these people. No more excuses. United States soldiers. Oh, I'm gonna engage in public service. No, you're serving Kier Starmer and the Epstein regime, and you know it, and everyone knows it. This is not the 1950s. Where the ruling class has a monopoly on information. Everyone knows what's going on. Only 22% of American people support the war on Iran. The majority of the American people are against this war. So if you're a soldier, sign up. If you're a soldier and you're not willing to take a charge for disobeying unlawful orders, then fuck you. I hope your head come back. Hope they send your ass back in a casket because you're a criminal. You're an invader thug. Serving this guy.
They have murdered thousands of their own people, brutally crushed dissent, and sought to destabilize the region. Even in the United Kingdom, the Iranian regime poses a direct threat to dissidents and to the Jewish community. Over the last year alone, they have backed more than 20 potentially lethal attacks on UK soil. So it is clear they must never be allowed to develop a nuclear weapon.
Fam, if they had a nuclear weapon, they wouldn't be going through this right now.
That remains the primary aim of the United Kingdom and our allies, including the US. I condemn Iran's attacks today on partners across the region.
Should we even watch the rest of this? I don't even want to watch the rest of this. We're about halfway through. This is fucking infuriating. By the way, they're getting lit the fuck up. I've been looking at some updates. I'm gonna try and find you guys some more. Because the news is moving way too fucking fast today. Like this is tweeted from the RT account. I really hope this is not an older clip. But from what I see, it seems like this is what they're saying. Iran will soon unveil at least maybe this one they said it recently. Iran will soon unveil weapons you have never seen before. Trump should know we are equipped to fight you for years, and this is an existential battle for Iran. And they was not lying. They are launching these massive attacks. Look. This is breaking to me now too. Look, bombings in deeper areas of Dubai, Mall Street, Palm Jumeirah, and compounds around Burj Khalifa are all related to the assets of Trump and his family, Zionist hideouts and massage centers. Hey fam, remember how I talked about how despite being ruled by sellout Arab Zionist leaders, that the Arab Zionist leaders have to at least pretend they support Palestine, because the Arabs that are under dictatorship, they actually support Palestine. Like when you look at Egypt, when you look at Jordan, what's the percent of Palestinians? Jordan Palestinians. I don't know exactly the population amount. Maybe I should look it up. But Jordan has a massive Palestinian population. They all hate Israel. So when they see Iran retaliating after they had, let's just say, dozens and dozens of school children murdered, because we don't even know what the official count is now. Do you think that these people who are already hate the state of Israel, and they already know that they are promoting endless war in the Middle East, do you think they're going to blame Iran or blame Israel for this? Because, like this person said, there's reports of mass casualties and damage. More attacks are ahead, which may lead to the fall of hotels and some famous buildings. So yeah, Iran, they warned the United States base. They warned these people. And the Middle East, the entirety of the Middle East sees exactly what happened. And they know exactly who's responsible. Let's see if we can find some more updates. I was looking at some corporate media headlines. Iran says it hit U.S. bases in Bahrain. Yeah, Bahrain is being hit hard right now. This is going to be a dark moment for humanity in general. So I'm going to look for some more breaking news, because news is moving so fast. I'm looking for updates on what Russia and China is saying right now. Because at this, they have to get in the game. Like this is the thing is, I understand that Putin is in a hard position too, though. Like people have to understand that Putin is fighting the entirety of NATO. He's been surrounded by the West, and the war on Ukraine put a lot of stress on his forces as well. You have Xi Jinping of China being threatened by Taiwan, bro. The axis of resistance around the world, BRICS countries, they're under massive pressure by the West. So they got a lot of tough decisions. I'm not going to sit here and play. Actually, you guys know it annoys me when people play armchair quarterback for China and Russia. But this seems, to me, I'm going to just say this as a commentator, it seems like this is a big moment. And there's need to be a reaction that meets this moment. And just a message of, like, just saying that you condemned it. Just saying that you want to see peace. I don't know if that's enough. Already seen, like, Lavrov said that they want to work towards peace. I'm like, oh, no, man. That's not. Well, I guess they had to say it, but I'm like, man, that's not the right way, right? Russia and China arming Iran for showdown with the United States. So I'll put it up there so people know, for the people who say they're doing nothing. They are doing something. You can argue that they should do a little bit more, but they are actively doing everything they can to help Iran. The same way Russia tried to help Venezuela with aircraft missiles. That's why a lot of people accuse the Venezuelan government of selling Maduro out. I wouldn't say that for sure, because a lot of that could be empire propaganda meant to demoralize the Venezuelan people. But one of the reasons why people say that is because the reaction was like, bro, Russia sent you all this shit. Russia sent you all these aircraft carriers, and you guys didn't use it. There wasn't any activation of these air defenses. That's why a lot of people question it. So I actually want to see, is there any more updates on what Russia and China? Look, man, we need look. Russia condemns United States Israel strikes on Iran as an unprovoked act of armed aggression. Of course. Yeah, but to be honest, what else can I say? To be fair, I'm very emotional right now. I'm sorry. Like, I'm very emotional, but like, to be honest, what else could I say for right now? Russia on Saturday condemned. Let me skim this. The foreign ministry, I think there's a statement on reference, accused Washington and Tel Aviv of hiding behind concerns of Iran's nuclear program while actually pursuing regime change. What is China saying about this? China, Iran. China called for immediate ceasefire after the United States Israel bombed Iran. Anyone know that China, they just want peace because they trying to make some money, bro. That article is ad blocked. We know China just trying to make some money. So I understand why they call for a ceasefire, but man, you guys realize that this is the end game. CNN is quoting fucking Amalek in Jewish scripture. This is going to be a dark time for humanity if we all collectively don't step up against this. I'm just some country boy in the Midwest that tried his best. Like, I tried my best to unite the anti-war movement in the United States. And you guys know I was condemned for it. Like, I was condemned for like, hey man, I think we should reach out to libertarians. I think we should reach out to the ACP. I want to work with the Green Party. I want to work with Shamison Watt so we can have an anti-war movement. People like, Nick, how dare you? This is the reaction. This is why I lost members of RBN. This is why many people in the United States left. They hate me. They're like, don't you know that Nick, he works with the ACP? Don't you know Nick had one conversation with Jake Shields before, who is also anti-war, who has a lot of deplorable politics? But I'm like, man, I want to form an anti-war coalition. People like, Nick, how dare you? How dare you talk to people? How dare you platform them? I'm a small ad channel, and people are like, Nick, how dare you platform people? Yeah, I'm sorry, asshole, that I wanted to stop this from happening. Even with people who have domestic policies who I may find deplorable, I was like, hey, man, I think it's pretty important for us to stop our ruling class from murdering children. Now, do you guys see why? Look at this. China calls for immediate end to U.S.-Israeli strikes on Iran, stresses dialogue. Once again, I'm not going to be someone who lives in the heart of the empire and get mad at what these people say, because I understand why China wants peace. It makes sense to me that these countries want peace. But there needs to be unified support with the Iranian people. That's what I want to see. That's just what I personally want to see. I'm selfish. Oh my God. I can't even show what I just fucking saw. That's disgusting. I seen a tweet sent out by Saeed Morandi, Professor Morandi, that has one of the arms of the girls that was murdered by the Epstein regime. Jesus fucking Christ. I can't show it. Jesus fucking Christ. So respectfully, I disagree with China's position and Russia's position. We can't have. I'm emotional because I'm not asking you guys to make sacrifices. I want to make sacrifices as well because I want to be on the front line fighting these motherfuckers. What can I do? I'm just a motherfucker in the Midwest who tried. I tried to unite the United States left, and I was rejected. RBN was rejected by the United States left. They embraced Zohar Mamdani and liberal Zionism. They embraced Hassan Piker and TYT. So I tried. It's not like I'm asking these people to do all the work for me. I wanted to fight and die for this movement. I was rejected by the United States left. So I got nothing else I can do other than root for the victories of the global South, the victories of Iran and Russia, and pray to God that Russia and China does something about this. Because I tried, guys. You guys know I tried. It's not like I've been just sitting here twiddling my thumbs, like, oh my God, would the empire go away? I went to anti-war protests. I gave speeches. I did everything I thought I could do. You know what I mean? And I was rejected by the United States left. And now we got war with Iran. Anyway, this doesn't have to be a long stream because I just wanted to give my breaking news thoughts on this. But let's read some more. I'm going to be doing this all day anyway. You know what I mean? I'm going to be obsessed with following this. How the fuck can anyone pay attention to any fiction? I'm pissed because I'm supposed to be hanging out with my cousins later tonight. I'm like, man, I don't want to do that shit no more, bro. But I will. I have to because I love my homies. You know what I mean? I can't cancel on my homies. I'm still gonna do it. I'm gonna go out with my cousins, my friends later tonight, and I'm gonna hate every single minute of it. I'm gonna be on my phone the whole time, bro, following this shit. Because I already promised them my time, and I don't get to see my homies as much as I used to because we're older, we all work, we busy as fuck. So I had to go live this morning to share my thoughts, and I'm still gonna be obsessed with this, but I'm gonna unplug a little bit later. It's gonna be hell on earth. It's gonna be hell on earth. Not following this every step of the way. So here, Max Blumenthal, as Bahrain gets rocked today. Remember Bloody Thursday when the country's family dictatorship brutalized and killed Shia protesters in 2011 with the help of Saudi and Emirati troops. The U.S. and Europe didn't care about the protesters. In fact, they armed their killers. Yeah, I think great post about Max, but yeah, we know what we're dealing with. Oh yeah, by the way, I gotta show you guys this because Democrats 100% are complicit with this every step of the way. I think this tweet is John Fairman bitching and complaining. Oh, you got this headline there is so fucking fake. They said Democrats now demand war powers vote. Get the fuck out of here. They wanted this to happen so they can blame Trump and his administration after Chuck Schumer gets the war that he wants. Because this has been widely reported. Democratic leaders slow-walked the Iran war powers resolutions long enough for Trump to start the war. Top Democrats support war with Iran. They just want Trump to be the one who absorbed the political fallout. And Democrats do these pathetic stuff because they know their base are fucking stupid. They know they're fucking stupid. They know they're not going to be really angry. They're going to vote blue in the midterms anyway. Because they're not even trying to be slick. We in the age of information. We see through your fucking plans. It's not about that. It's about giving plausibility for their liberal friends so they will have something to say to justify their vote. I actually can't show a lot of this because I remember I got in trouble showing like war footage before during the 12-day war, I believe. My channel and RBN, we're not gifted special privileges like the other channels are. Like the corporate algorithm channel, they are allowed to show all the crazy shit going on. But I'm going to show, look, here's a silhouette of what's going on right now. Dubai is getting fucked up. Glory to Iran. Now you guys see why they say death to America? People in the West get upset at Iran for saying death to America, which they should, considering they are a country who've been overthrown. The United States installed a brutal Shah and completely destroyed the sovereignty of the state of Iran. So of course they should say death to America. Of course they should call them the great Satan. But you want to know what the difference is? As Iran chants death to America, you have the West that actually murders Iranian children. You actually have the West that engages in genocide, who have black site torture dungeons that they kidnap Arabs and they torture them to death. This is what the United States have been doing for decades now. But then white people be like, oh, we have to go to war with Iran because they say death to America. Fam, I kid you not. That is what Morning Joe was saying. You want to know the first guest I saw on MSNBC when I turned it on to see what they were saying? You had Joe Scarborough talking to John Bolton on MSNBC, the Western Resistance channels. They was the guy they want to talk to is John Bolton. That's who they want to have a discussion with. So here are John Fetterman, who's essentially a Republican now. I will never forgive the leftists like the Vanguard, TYT, Crystal Ball, all the people who elevated Senator Fetterman, and now they're like, I hate John Fetterman. Like, bro, you're responsible for giving this psychopath power for 6 years. And you could say you wasn't warned because there was a black leftist channel known as RBN that was warning people about John Fetterman. And then people was like, Nick, you just being a wrecker. Nick, you're just a wrecker. And you guys remember that? Nick, remember when I grilled Marianne Williamson on the two-state solution and I told people that John Fetterman was a diehard Zionist? And then the Vanguard did a video and said, this is what RBN does. They use the issue of Palestine to divide the left. That's what these people say now. And they will never admit that we was right and they was wrong. These people just get boosted by the algorithm because that's what happens. The ruling class will reward you for being wrong. If you promoted John Fetterman, you'll be promoted and boosted in the algorithm. If you was warning people about John Fetterman, you get strikes, you get deranked, you get shadow banned like we do. Long time people, you guys know I'm not talking shit. You guys been through this with me as well. Remember when I ruined the vibes of the Marianne Williamson campaign? And she never recovered from my interview, by the way. She never recovered from the interview. If you guys don't remember, look it up. That is what the Vanguard said. They would never, maybe they deleted the video. I would never bring that shit up ever again. It was like, they just use Palestine to divide the left. Guilty as charged. No more liberal Zionism. So let's see if I can find anything else newsworthy. I can't show you guys my unfiltered timeline simply because that probably would get me in trouble. Look, Dubai is under attack. Being a frontline state for a declining hegemon can be dangerous. Yes, it can. Let's see what Hotspot always on top of it. You guys know my homies Hotspot. They always in the lab cooking. So let's check out what Hotspot been tweeting about. Maybe some trading tabs. I read some super chats. I didn't forget about you guys in super chats. But we have this story and this geopolitical development is gigantic. Let's continue. Look, the IDF released footage showing Iranian soldiers struck by an Israeli airstrike as they prepared to fire missiles towards Israel. So there's a lot of this war footage that's going on right now. Israeli opposition leader Yair Lapid. 3 foreign media outlets asked me in 40 minutes, what are the political implications of the operation in Iran? I told them there are no political implications. We are all united behind the operation. Well, no shit. You got to realize that Bernie Sanders and all these liberal Zionists are like, man, the problem is the Netanyahu government. They're full of shit. They're full of shit because every step of the way, the genocide in Gaza, the bombing of Lebanon, the invasion of Syria, all these wars are always supported by the Israeli duopoly. So then people like Bernie Sanders and Ro Khanna and these scumbags, they pretend that all we got to do is replace the Likud party. And yes, the Likud party is extreme, but the Israeli population, they are completely in sync with their genocidal ideals. It was the Israeli population that was protesting the Likud party and appealing to them to release prisoners who raped Palestinians to death. That's the Israeli opposition party. I don't need to read any more messages from these Israelis. But you guys see, this is why you should follow Hotspot. You know, we release bangers on Hotspot. But not only do I release bangers with my short form Hotspot videos, they do a good job covering geopolitics as a whole. You guys see, so let's continue. Like Kuwait International Airport damaged by Iranian drone. So yeah, there's a lot of great footage on the Hotspot. Man, if you guys haven't followed Hotspot, especially after all the work I've been doing for them, you guys are out of your mind. Here's the Iranian foreign minister. When was this? Oh, this is today. Wow. So NBC had Iranian foreign minister. I didn't watch the whole interview. So they had him on this morning to react to the attacks. Maybe I should find that.
We are facing an act of aggression. And obviously, we have every right to defend ourselves. So what we are doing is act of self-defense, which is absolutely legal and legitimate. So, and we think that we are fully prepared for that, even more prepared than previous time, the 12-day war. And I believe we managed this. We know very well how to defend ourselves. We learned lots of lessons from the previous war, and we will certainly teach the aggressors a lesson they deserve.
I really hope he's telling the truth there. I really hope that's for real. I don't doubt what he's saying, but the United States and Israel, you have to understand they've been ready. They're powerful as well. But the Pentagon was warning Trump, as I covered before. The Pentagon warned Trump that if you start this war, there'll be U.S. casualties. The fact that Donald Trump even has to say, and I think this is why I kind of believe him. The fact that Donald Trump even had to say there's going to be U.S. casualties, and that's a crazy thing to say for a politician, for a president who's supporting a war. You guys know how they always try to downplay the danger of war in general. So for Donald Trump to come out and say that United States casualties are guaranteed, that's how you know that they are kind of shook at the potential of Iran firing back. Look at this. This is a crazy thing to say as a politician. This is a politician who knows they're cooked. This is a politician who knows their party is going to lose in the midterms. So his Mossad handlers and masters was like, hey, man, you guys are getting your ass whooped in the midterm, so it's time for you guys to take one for the team. You know how the Democratic Party, Kamala Harris and Joe Biden was willing to throw the last election to their political enemy, Donald Trump, in order to take one for the team? It's your turn to take one for the team. And until we overthrow this Epstein-controlled duopoly, this is what they're going to keep doing. They're going to just keep taking turns, taking one for the team, knowing that the American left that drunk off of lesser two evilisms and tranquilizing drugs, electoral politics, will never actually call for revolutionary change. The revolutionary change that I've been calling for years, which led to me being disavowed and the United States led distancing themselves from me because they are reformists. I wanted to have a revolution in an armed working class anti-war movement prepared to stop something like this from happening. The Tel Aviv, come on, bro. Everyone wants to see Tel Aviv get bombed. I wish I could show you guys Tel Aviv get bombed. Let me see if there's any more update on the state of Tel Aviv. I know Dubai is getting hit hard. I really want to see some more destruction in Tel Aviv. But if you're worrying about casualties, that's bad. All right, let's see what else Hotspot is sharing. I need to find. Wonder if NBC posted that interview. Cause you already know, bro. You already know you already know they probably treated him like shit. Like whenever the Americans interview Iranians or Russians, it shows that they know how to be adversarial to politicians. They just choose not to. Oh, they do have it. Look at this. I don't know if we're going to watch
very briefly while you've been introducing Julie Sirkin. They're telling us that right now we have a guest from Iran. Iran's Minister of Foreign Affairs, Abbas Araghchi, is joining us now from Tehran. Minister Araghchi, we appreciate your making time to speak to us right now. We have a series of questions. We know that you are one of the few in that country who have the access to communicate outside of a country where there is a large blackout of communications at this time. First and foremost, our question to you, sir, is can you give us a better understanding of the situation on the ground there, the impacts that have taken place? And separately, can you confirm to us that the Ayatollah and the president are both still alive?
Well, thank you for having me. Well, the situation on the ground is quite, I cannot say normal, but the life is going on. Everything is under control. I think Americans and Israelis have failed to, access to hit their targets. And now everything is under control. And we almost in less than 2 hours, we were able to start retaliation by attacking, American bases and some targets in Israel by our missiles. Almost all officials are safe and sound and alive. We may have lost 1 or 2 commanders, but that is not a big problem. We are actually managing it. We are handling the situation. And I was in contact with, my colleagues in the Persian Gulf. And I explained for them that, we have no intention to attack them, but we are actually attacking the American bases in the act of self-defense. We cannot just sit and watch they are attacking us and we don't, respond simply because their bases are in a friendly neighbor country. So I explained for them, and I hope that they understand this situation. Another point I have to mention is, I don't know why the US administration insists to start a negotiation and then in the middle of negotiation attack the other party.
There's a lot of commentary about this, but we explained many times before. And I think he knows as well. He's just making a point. He obviously knows this, exactly. But the whole negotiations were just for show. It's now being exposed how these military attacks were planned. They planned this for months in advance. They planned on taking the negotiation from the very beginning because the Iranian government offered something that is kind of insane. Like they agreed to have a Iranian deal that was actually stronger than what Obama received, because what Iran was offering American companies a stake in Iranian oil. And I remember when that was announced, people was like, bro, what? But I think one of the reasons why Iran did that because they knew that shit wasn't going to happen. They planned to decrease their nuclear program dramatically, which will be suicidal toward their sovereignty. So what Iran was offering during the negotiations was actually crazy. And now in hindsight, we know why. Because they knew that this shit was a sham. I just want to chime in with that, but let's continue this interview. I would be watching this interview if I wasn't live anyway. That's why I kind of want to watch it now. That's what this live stream is about, us discussing this. What's poppin', my friends? Zoe is love. Zoe is life. Shout out to my friend. You guys know I had to share my thoughts on this developing crazy story. Let's continue.
See what last June happened. We were in the middle of negotiations, and and it was interesting that this time we made a big progress. 2 days ago, on Thursday, we had a very good meeting in Geneva, together with Steve Witkoff and Jared Kushner, and we were able to address serious questions related to Iran's nuclear program. We obviously have differences, but we resolved some of those differences, and we decided to continue in order to resolve the rest of questions. And we actually instructed the technical
team. Look at this. This is what I want to share. Look at this. Bahraini fire department refused to respond to calls by surviving U.S. troops asking for assistance. Bro, there's U.S. troops are getting hit hard. I don't think there's any casualties yet. I've been trying to keep my eye on this, but let's continue to the interview. I'm gonna try to share some more updates as I find them, but let's continue this interview.
Team to go to Vienna and have a meeting with the IAEA. In order to find technical solution for the problems we are facing in the negotiation. And everybody was happy at the end of those negotiations. As you saw, His Excellency Badr al-Busaidi, the Foreign Minister of Oman, who is mediating between us, he concluded by posting a tweet saying that today we made significant progress. And before he posted his tweet, he consulted with both delegations and both were happy. So I don't know why, while we were progressing in our talks and we had made good, achievement and a deal was at our reach, why they decided to attack us. Perhaps, it was others who dragged the United States for their own benefits into this, conflict. It's really pity. It's very unfortunate. And yes,
Mr. Arachi, I appreciate.
Tel Aviv, Tel Aviv is getting hit hard right now. We can't show war footage on YouTube. I got hit. I got punished for that. Buildings in Greater Tel Aviv hit by Iranian missiles. I actually gotta be careful on X. I don't know if I'm gonna show a lot of shit from X because there's a lot of fog of war shit going on right now on X. It's hard to tell what's real. There's some accounts. I literally seen a few accounts like posting old footage. I'm like, okay, I can't show that. But yeah, Tel Aviv. I'm trying to find some more official reporting on this. Look, buildings in Greater Tel Aviv hit by Iranian missiles. Here's another one. This is some Sky News. Explosions in the sky over Tel Aviv as Iran strikes back. So Tel Aviv and Israel is in trouble. You guys realize that, right? Because what the West never talks about is how they was getting hammered during the 12-day war. It wasn't Iran that asked for a ceasefire. Do you guys know that? You guys know it wasn't Iran that was begging for a ceasefire. It was Israel in the United States. And they got the ceasefire because the Iron Dome became overwhelmed by the amount of Iranian attacks. And that is when Iran was holding back. Iran is not holding back now. And this is why the Pentagon was worried, because now there's a lack of munitions because the United States demilitarized themselves by arming Nazis in Ukraine, by committing a genocide in Gaza. So if they're apparently they're deflecting Iranian missiles right now, but we saw during the 12-day war, they was doing that to tire out the Iron Dome. They was testing the defenses, probing and prodding here. So how long can Tel Aviv keep this up? Because this war is going to be longer than 12 days. Iran has been prepared for this moment. So I'm going to keep my eye out for this, but Tel Aviv is going to continue to be hit hard. I know when I come back Monday, there's going to be so much to discuss. I can't show that either. Like, there's a lot of people showing the carnage, which has to be documented. Like, here's another arm and leg I just seen of some Iranian children blown up. See, that sounds like bullshit. You guys see, there's a lot of fucking bullshit kind of going on right now. I'll show you guys some timeline stuff. Look, that seemed like bullshit. Missile attacks on U.S. bases leave at least 200 U.S. personnel killed. Come on, bro. Come on. I guess I'll spend the last few minutes because I guess I'll keep this hard in around an hour. Since I'm already this long in, let me read some super chats. Let's scroll my timeline, I guess. Look at some trending news, I guess. Here's this is a statement from Hakeem Jeffries. The Trump administration must explain itself to American people. Oh, go fuck yourself. You got to see, this is their plan. Their plan was to allow Donald Trump to attack Iran, do propaganda in order to justify Donald Trump's future aggression, which the Democratic Party did, and then they released statements to try to politically calculate off of the war that them and their paymasters support. And what pisses me off is the United States left is going to fall for this. I guarantee you. I guarantee you, man. The Trump administration must explain itself to the American people and Congress immediately, provide an ironclad justification for this act of war. For one, there is no justification. This is illegal. I know I nitpick a lot, but this shows the barbaric ideology of these neocons, as if there's a way to justify murdering over 100 Iranian schoolgirls. As their way to, oh, yeah, I know we're doing some war crime, but here's no justification. There is no justification. You got to see, I see through these liberal Zionist rats. When they think they're being fucking cute, you're not being cute to me. You may trick the rest of these dumbass Americans, but I see through you. As if there's some good explanation for this. And that's the Democrats' general critique of the empire. They are upset because they're not managers of the empire. They will manage the war with Iraq better. That's the argument that John Kerry made in 2004 against George Bush, and he wondered why he lost. I will be a better manager of the Iraq war. That was their message. Anyway, this is Hakeem. Look, provide an ironclad justification for this act of war, clearly define the national security objective. You guys see the Democrat talking point? This is the Democrat worldview. If there's a national security objective that could be accomplished, you can murder as many children as you want. I don't think many people will see this, but to me, this statement is disgusting. Like, I guess this work on suburban bloodthirsty wine moms. Maybe this work on the low IQ left. But to me, this is a neocon statement. It's not even to me that oppositional to what Donald Trump is doing. You're not doing a good job managing our military quagmire in the Middle East. All right, what else? I think Hotspot got some new video. Got some new. See, you got to see all the shit I can't even show. I think this is here missiles arriving now into Pedo land, Pedo land, Israel. I can't show that. Here's Rome. Rome been on fire as well. You Americans sit here and beg for mercy while your taxpayers are helping the government commit multiple genocides right now. So I wish for the same mercy you'll have for Yemen, Palestine, Congo, Sudan, and African countries under the empire's iron fist. If you have to die for it, so be it. Who's he talking? He's talking to this guy. Oh yeah. Anyway, Rome is on fire. Let me read some super chats. There's a lot of war footage. We're in the fog of war right now. A lot of stuff I can't even show. So the Straits of Hormuz have never been fully closed in modern history. So let's see how that fucking works out. That's going to end horrifically because I'm trying to remember the exact number. It was like 30% of maritime traffic. In the middle, oh no, I gotta look at the exact number. But that's a huge economic blow for the world. The Straits of Hormuz been shut down. Just another reason why the Pentagon warned against this. Let me look. I know I've read something about this before, like the amount of shit that go through the Strait of Hormuz. Traffic. I'm trying to see if I can find it. Yep. There's all these stories. Yep. Shipping. Ships being warned. Straits of Hormuz have been. Yeah, ships are getting warnings right now. Wow, dude, this is huge. Look at this. Strait of Hormuz closure warnings sounded over ships' radios. So we're already going to see massive economic blowback from this. Wonder if LaGoy James. I still like LaCoon James, but LaGoy James is pretty good too. Still haven't heard none but good things about Israel. You know, LeBron James, still haven't heard anything bad about Israel. Oh my god, dude! I can only wrap my mind around all the consequences of this. Oil prices gonna explode. Jeez, do people understand what the fuck just happened? I was just thinking about this. This is crazy. Yeah, let's see what DDG is saying. DD Geopolitics. We just had Sarah on. She's always fun. Hot Spy has been on it. Here's Hot Spy. Let's watch some more Hot Spy feeds. I don't know how long I'll be on live, to be honest. I said an hour, but who fucking knows? This is what I'm gonna be doing anyway. My cousin texted me. I'm like, bro, fuck. I hate that I have social obligations today. Fuck. Like, don't you guys know that war with Iran just started? I'm about to text him that. Don't you guys know that war fucking just started in Iran? Sorry, I don't got time to hang out with the niggas today, man. I'm going to though. I don't like being the flake of a group. I hate being the flake, so I'm not gonna flake on them. But I'm fucking upset that I can't spend all my time watching this kind of stuff. Straits of Hormuz handles approximately 20 or 30% of the world's total daily petroleum liquid consumption, making it the world's most critical oil choke point. Zoya's love. Thank you. I was just covering this on one of my hotspot videos, but I didn't want to misspeak, so thank you for that. I'm gonna check out Hotspot, DDG, recent super chats, and we can get out of here. Oh my god, dude. Here's John Fetterman. I'm not watching this shit. I'm not putting you guys through that level of torture. But this is his quote. I might be a Democrat, but in this specific case, the president is absolutely correct to do these kind of actions. Another reason why I don't even want to show this shit is because I'm tired of WWE politics. John Fetterman is the heel. He's the Democrat that's supposed to come out and support the war, while all the Democrats who are in tough districts, all the Democrats who have elections coming up, they're going to be like, oh no, I think that Donald Trump need to be considerate of international law. They're going to do the same rotating villain shit. So that's why I don't even want to show this guy that attention. I don't even want to give attention to Fetterman. I don't want you guys to think that he's the evil bad guy here. He's playing his role. And I'm not fucking falling for that bullshit. He's playing his fucking role. Do you guys think John Fetterman gives a fuck if he wins his next election? If he doesn't win, he's got a lobbyist position down locked. Bro, these Jewish supremacists, these Epstein elites, they're going to take care of John Fetterman for the rest of his life. That's why it's crucial for not to give him power and not to be complicit in giving him power ever. Because once you get him in, good luck getting him out, and they're going to be rewarded forever. I'm not even going to show that video. Fuck that shit. I'm not falling for that. Yeah, make sure you guys follow Hotspot for more updates. Yeah, there's global shipping is already getting fucked up by this, by the way. Anyone fine for the pedophile president? Yeah, the death toll keeps rising during this school strike, which is crazy, man. All right, I guess let's read some super chats. I can go on this all day. There's just so much going on. Yeah, you already know RT, they about to have a field day. Chinese corporate media, they about to have a field day. The world knew the news and the resistance as a whole, it legitimized even more because it's clear the barbarians that they are fighting against. It's clear that they're fighting against the child killers. So that's why unapologetically, you guys in charge with treason, you guys get upset with me. I have U.S. soldiers threatening me. I'm like, I wish you would fucking pull up, you pussy. Fuck every soldier who signed up for this war. I hope they fucking lose. I hope you guys get obliterated. I hope Israel get obliterated off the map. And I will say that with my whole chest. Let's read some super chats. Big shout out to my friend Landrew. Dark Matter Zombies. I appreciate you supporting our labor today. I'll be back with the Palestine News Network on Monday. Great guest to have on for our Monday show to discuss all the fallouts from this. We are all Palestinian now, absolutely. You guys know why I stand on business on Palestine ever since day one. I had a platform because they always stood in solidarity with us. They stood in solidarity with Black Americans that we protested against our police state, our IDF funded police state. The same way that South Africans, Nelson, you had Pan Africanists. The Black Palestinian interconnected struggle is stronger than ever. That's why I always stand on business. I am always consider myself an ally to them because they've been an ally to us during our struggles. As they was being killed and slaughtered by Israel, they still took time out of their day to show solidarity with the George Floyd protests, for example. That's who Palestinians are. They always show solidarity worldwide because they know what the evil of the West. And that's what we gotta be. We got no loyalty to the Epstein class, maximum solidarity with our Palestinian brothers and sisters. I really hope Iran is fucking them up. We are in the fog of war. There's a lot of tweets on X that are extremely enthusiastic about what's going on, but I can't really verify whether a lot of these tweets are true or not. And I learned, guys, trust me, I learned. Like there are a lot of accounts, especially worldwide, that will just tweet shit for the numbers. So we gotta be very careful what I report. I really hope I didn't show you guys any fake shit. I really don't. I tried my due diligence. This is a live breaking news stream. I really hope that Iran will fuck them up so bad, man. Look at Zoya, always in the lab cooking. What's poppin', my friend? Friday we will have Alex McKay from the Marxist-Leninist Mao Institute. Based as fuck. What did we guys tell you guys about the new direction of RBN? We having Alex McKay from the Marxist-Leninist Mao Institute. Based as hell. I remember when someone recommended him, and I was like, I don't know who this guy is, but based on the name of his institute, I'm definitely down. I'm definitely down just by the name of the institute alone. All right, let's get some super chats. I need to get about my day. So we are all Palestinians now. Much love to Nick and the people of Iran and Yemen. Free Palestine and we all will be free. Community and solidarity, love and many hugs. Much love to our class trader comrade here, Landry. Much love to you. Yeah, dude. I'm willing to make some sacrifices if it means the death of the Epstein regime. Like, bro, I'm willing to cut electricity. Like, nigga, I'm willing to live like a caveman for a year or two. Like, I know Americans will never be at that level, but fam, I'm at the level where I'm willing to make economic sacrifices if it means the Zionist class lose. That's where I'm at. So yeah, we're cooked, but I welcome that. I'm sad for our Iranian brothers and sisters and many people in the global South who are going to have their living standards rise to a level where they may not be able to meet. Like I'm more sad about the global consequences. If anything, this is our punishment as Americans for not stopping this. So I'm less concerned about us, but I would say humanity as a whole is cooked. That's for sure. No BS. This is why they killed Charlie Kirk. Absolutely. I believe that too. I left my review on Candace's show. They got a few hundred likes on X or whatever. I watched the first show of Bride of Charlie, and that shit was boring as fuck. I was like, bro, this shit is so boring, bro. Like, we know Israel killed him. We know that Israel married a honeypot. We know Charlie, like, everyone know Erica Kirk is a honeypot. His AIPAC handler wife, the same way that Doug Emhoff is Kamala Harris's AIPAC handler husband. But Charlie Kirk signed up for this shit. I don't think a lot of people realize who Charlie Kirk was. He's the same age as I am. Like, he came up, I seen him, he was propped up by the oligarchs. He knew exactly what he fucking signed up for. He got a little bit too big for his britches. Yeah, I know you guys don't fuck with Charlie Kirk like that. I don't think you guys are. But this whole thing where people try to make him out to be a martyr who was a victim, who didn't know he was being honeypotted, he knew exactly what the fuck. You think this guy, Charlie know he can't fucking attract Erica Kirk? Like, was Erica Kirk like a model at some point? I seen like pictures of her in bikinis. Charlie Kirk, he knew what the fuck he signed up for. He got too big for his britches. He forgot he was a foot soldier for the Republican Party, and they smoked his ass for opposing war with Iran as he was complaining about black gang violence. Your ass was a victim of white gang violence. Your own crew smoked your ass. Boy, Charlie Kirk got smoked by his own crew complaining about black gang violence. That shit will always be funny to me. I don't give a fuck. But yeah, to be clear, they did kill Charlie Kirk over his opposition to Iran. The reason why the Candace Owens shit is boring to me is because we all know this. Where did the Bride of Charlie end? Well, like, where does that lead to? Like, you guys see what movement is being built by Candace Owens to counter these people? What political party is Candace Owens making to challenge the TPUSA controlled Republican Party? There is none. To me, that's why I'm kind of not interested, because it's clearly going nowhere. Like, it's here to make Candace rich, her to make her friends rich, because we all know what happened to Charlie, but are you guys going to do anything about it? Yeah. Erica did a little sex trafficking in Romania. I watch, I said on before on Twitter, I will admit that the whole drama is very fascinating. It's kind of like my guilty pleasure. Not the Candace Owens show itself. My guilty pleasure is seeing the conservative meltdown. The conservative meltdown over this has been hilarious. But the story generally is pretty. There's a reason why you don't see me cover it that often, because there's way more interesting things going on. The reason why the right is super interested in this story is because they're now realizing that Marxists are correct. Because we warned you guys that people don't marry for love. We warned you guys that the capitalist class are barely semi-human. They don't have the same emotions as us. They don't have the same social structure as us. These are things that Marx has been explaining to people. So when I see Erica Kirk married Charlie for power, we like, yeah, that's how it goes. That's how your system works. Meanwhile, the dumbass right wingers, they're like, oh, don't you know that Erica didn't actually love Charlie? Are you sweet summer child? You just now figuring this out? Like, we have Hillary Clinton, who clearly is not sexually attracted to Bill. Clearly don't give a fuck about Bill. There's a lot of rumors in the Epstein files that she's been sleeping around. That's why she didn't divorce Bill for these people don't marry for love. That's why, in general, guys, I'm not like, bro, the Erica Kirk shit is funny as fuck, but it's nothing is being exposed that tankies didn't know about our society. So I'm glad that you guys are going through this. I'm glad that you guys are learning about the decadent capitalist class. But this is not news to us. At least I don't think it's news to us. But good for Candace for exposing it, I guess. What did I leave off? Oh yeah, this Shinobi is the one. Shinobili is the one who set me off on that tangent. Yep, Charlie Kirk got smoked, boy. I never watched a single piece of content by Jake Shields other than the segment Nick was on. Tell me who is being platformed exactly. Jake has a lot. Like he's one of those edge bros who have a lot of ass cringe. He have a lot of cringe ass takes. But when we have our conversation, he was playing. He like, bro, I want nothing but the best for the black community. The same way I want nothing but the best for the white community. So Jake Shields is a shit poster. He has a lot of takes that I do not like. But if you guys think I'm gonna pass down an opportunity to preach my black radical politics to a guy like Jake Shields in an attempt to peel these people away, you're out of your mind. Like, if we're not here to make the argument to people we disagree with, what exactly are we doing? So people are like, Nick, don't you know that Jake Shields said this? Don't you know that Jake Shields said that? I'm like, yeah, I know he's a dipshit. He's an average white boy. This is what white boys say, and this is what white boys do. So yeah, he says stupid white boy shit. It's our job to radicalize and convince white people to stop organizing based on race and get into class warfare. We're not going to win all of them over. We're going to peel off a few. And there was a ton of people who watched Jay Shill's show were like, oh my God, I can't believe I'm agreeing with a black radical or something. So if you don't want to do that, I understand why if people are like, I would never want to talk to someone who say racist shit like Jay Shill's or people who are like, if you don't want to do that, that's 100% okay. It's not your job to try to win over these people. But don't get upset at radicals who try to sell their vision to people who are now on our side. That's what confuses me the most. When people say, oh, I will never ever in a million years talk to Jay Shills or people like that. Okay, good for you, man. Good for you. Pat yourself on the back. You're such a hero. But why would people get mad at me for wanting to talk to people I disagree with? That's why I never understood. So that's who Jay Shills is. But oddly enough, he messaged me. He's like, bro, I like your politics, man. You radical as fuck. Jake Shills don't like the black Democrats, bro, but he liked my politics, which is strange. I went to Jake Shills' show. If you guys haven't seen the interview, I went on his show. It wasn't like I was agreeing with him, but I was like, why do you guys support the police? Remember, if you watch, I was like, bro, why do you guys support funding the police? You guys call yourself fiscally conservative, right? Why do you support giant police budgets? Now, fam, what other leftists is going on shows full of white boys making unapologetically the argument on why we should defund the police? Every single fucking leftist is like, oh yeah, I think we went a little bit too far on that one. Oh yeah, I think we should have police budgets as large as other countries' military budgets. No, I go on right-winger show and I tell them directly to their face that they're full of shit if you don't support defunding the police. And Jake Shields, his response was like, oh yeah, I think that kind of makes sense. He like, that kind of makes sense, man. I don't like the cops either. He literally, I don't like the cops either. So if you don't think that there's any value in these conversations, you don't have to have them. But I do think that we need, especially in this time right now, we need to do everything we can to reach as many people as possible. So that's the whole Jake Shields thing. There's a small group of irrelevant online leftists who will never forgive me for talking to Jake Shields. They are the same people who will never ever forgive me for talking to Jimmy Dore, for example. You just gotta stop paying attention to these people. Yeah, if you don't know, Jake Shields, he had a fight with GSP, which is wild because you guys know I'm an old school UFC fan. He had a world title fight with GSP in Toronto. At the time, it was like the biggest UFC fight ever. They had, I think it was like 68,000 fans. It was either the Bell Center or the O2 Arena, and they was all cheering for GSP. Jay Shields fought GSP with tens of thousands of Canadians wanting to see him die. It was crazy. He's a very accomplished martial artist. Now he's kind of a right-wing political commentator. I don't know why you guys keep asking me questions about this guy. But that's who that guy is. I appreciate you, Kat. They said we're staying with you, absolutely. I appreciate you guys. You guys are real as fuck. Nick, you was never rejected by the United States left. Those shunning you are simply not leftists. Soon we'll see who are the real revolutionaries. At least that's what I tell myself to help me sleep at night. That's why I tell myself so I can sleep well. And I'm like, well, all the motherfuckers hate me. Fuck them. They liberals anyway. I hope that's true. I hope that's true. Because I'm just some guy who's trying to do my best to try and radicalize our community to end Zionism. That's all I want to do. But the state of the United States left is abysmal right now. It's absolutely abysmal. And at the end of the day, we failed. We failed. And not on China. Like, I want China and Russia to do something to stop Israel and the United States. But at the end of the day, it's not on them. If China decides they want peace and they want to look out for the betterment of their own people, makes sense to me. If Vladimir Putin makes the calculation that they're too bogged down in Ukraine, that NATO forces in Europe want to see them destroyed, so they can't bother to sacrifice their nation and any more resources on Iran, that's their decision to make, man. At the end of the day, and this is my opinion, it is our failure. It is the failure of the West. It's the failure of the United States left. Not less so on us. You know, people like us who still got black hair. It's on the gray hair leftists the Dr. Cornel Wests, the Bernie Sanders, these motherfuckers who failed to hold the ruling class accountable, and then they still vote for Democrats. The old left failed. The professional managerial class, the academic left, with their bullshit, has misled peace movements, and they are directly responsible for the failure of the United States, left. And what kills me is, instead of being humbled by this lifetime failure, you gotta know I'm still a young buck. You know what I mean? I only been doing this for about 7 years. I still got a lot of time to change around. But you would think that these old heads would be a little bit more humble instead of consistently lecturing people about the benefits of lesser two evilisms. On what, like Dr. Cornel West, like, we got to lecture the left. Why won't the left stand with Iran? That's what Dr. Cornel West was saying. You know, how dare you guys on the left are not sensitive to the suffering of the Iranian people just because you agree with them on Palestine? No, fuck you. How about you become a little bit more humble at your failures? Oh, anyway, I need to stop lecturing. You guys are triggering me. I appreciate the super chats. Unlike these people, I want to take responsibility. So for whatever reason, the United States left decided to follow Hassan Piker. For whatever reason, the United States left decided to follow Zohran Mamdani and embrace incrementalism. They still follow the same bullshit that led us here in the first place, because the goal of RBN was to get people out of that. The goal of RBN was to convince the left that people like Zohran Mamdani are fucking fraudsters, and we shouldn't waste time supporting these kind of people. But guess who won? Not us. It's the professional managerial class left that still have a grip on the left. That's why they see revolutionaries and young radical black people like RBN, and they assume that we bad faith and we grifters. They can't be good faith. It has to be some sort of grifters. This is how the United States left been programmed. I'm going to continue to fight until we win these people over. But the reality is, the professional managerial class left, the Hassan Piker left, the TYT left. There are people who are praising Anna Kasparian. Like, you guys know how cooked we are, because Anna Kasparian, like, we are Goyle. She said a thing about Goyes or whatever, got attacked by people in Israel. Then people are like, oh my God, I stand with Anna Kasparian. Anna Kasparian is so based. Fam, we are cooked. You know, the same Anna Kasparian who condemned Hamas less than a year ago, Anna Kasparian is being promoted as a hero in the left now. So yeah, that's why I said the United States left rejected RBN. We tried to pull people to the left, and people embrace the tranquilizing drug of incrementalism instead. Anyway, let's continue the super chats. One of the first history lessons I taught in 1979 was Strait of Hormuz is like a cork in a bottle. Yeah, it's unbelievably significant to world trade. Either way, there's gonna be a lot to break down. Like the consequences of what happened today, it's gonna be felt for years, generations. The American people have no idea what the fuck just happened. People have no idea what the hell the Epstein class just plunged humanity into, because Iran is not Iraq and not Venezuela. Anyway, let's continue. The thing that concerns me is the Samson option. Yeah, that's a big problem. As they worry about Iran having nukes, Israel and many people in the Likud party openly said that their plan is, if Israel ever lose, humanity lose. They're going to engage in the Samson option and fuck them all up. It's so hard to radicalize people in Europe. They want their Saddam concessions back. The mainstream left castrated politics in the West. I am mad. I am mad too. I think this counts as another meltdown stream in a way. Why does Chris Hedges call Dr. West one of the greatest intellectuals of our time? Let's just say that's another thing I disagree with Dr. Hedges on. Dr. Hedges have a lot of great takes. I'm not a big fan of his anti-Marxism. I also believe he has a very nihilistic view on revolutionary potential in humanity. But don't get me wrong, I'm not here to bash Chris Hedges. I I think Chris Hedges is a great intellectual, but I do not view. There's a lot of differences between us. Let's just say that. But I won't get mad at people for trying to see the good in other people, because that will burn me in the left spaces while I try to see the good in other people despite their flaws. So I've made that mistake. I made that mistake many times while I try to see the best in people. So I'll chalk that as Chris Hedges trying to see the best of Dr. Cornel West. Yeah, if you guys agree with it, yeah, that's okay. I heard his criticism of Marxism. I didn't like it. It was a very nihilistic view of humanity, I believe. I think I made a critique a while ago, but we're not going to agree on everything. I think Chris Hedges does good work, though. But anyway, thank you for watching, my friends. I think I read all super chats. 90-minute breaking news stream. We are still in the early fog of war, and I can't show you guys a lot of war footage, but I hope you guys was informed a little bit what's going on. The Iranian retaliation has been immense. The West has Iranian children's blood on their hands. China and Russia want peace. There's a lot going on right now, so I appreciate you guys for watching. I'll be back next week. I think we have Palestine News Network who will be joining us on Monday. Appreciate you guys. Have a good one. Take care.